When life hangs by a thread, the clock is the enemy. On battlefields, in the aftermath of disaster, or in any operating room, a single factor has decided the fate of countless individuals: compatibility. For centuries, we relied on the generosity of strangers. But what if that dependence ended? What if, instead of frantically searching for a donor, a universal red solution could be waiting silently in every ambulance, in every corner of the planet? This is the astonishing story of how, after countless failures, an island nation, Japan, unlocked the secret to universal blood. The dilemma began in the early 20th century. It was Dr. Karl Landsteiner who, in 1901, revealed to the world the existence of blood groups A, B, and O. This revelation, though vital, introduced a critical complexity. An incompatible transfusion triggers a fatal reaction. Science had discovered how to save lives, yet it had also established a near insurmountable biological barrier. O negative became the universal donor, but its scarcity and short shelf life, barely 42 days refrigerated, have condemned millions to die. Therefore, the challenge was not just to create a substitute, but one that ignored the rules of nature. While the West focused on the complexity of organs, in the Far East, and particularly in Japan, attention turned to the fluid of life: blood. During the 1970s and 80s, the first global attempts failed, mainly due to toxic side effects. But Japanese researchers, with a culture of patience and precision, refused to give up. Their focus was on one specific molecule: hemoglobin. The challenge was not easy: how to encapsulate the oxygen-carrying function of a red blood cell, while freeing it from the surface proteins that cause rejection. The solution finally arrived with a stroke of nanotechnology genius: hemoglobin vesicles, or HMVs. Think of them as tiny containers, 10 times smaller than a red blood cell. These containers house purified hemoglobin, the true engine of oxygen, protecting it from the recipient's immune system. By eliminating the surface antigens, those markers that say, "I am type A" or "I am type B," the artificial blood became, by design, universal, a feat that promised to end biological discrimination. But would it be safe enough for a human heart? The moment of truth arrived at Nara Medical University. Scientists subjected rabbits to near-fatal hemorrhaging, replacing 100% of their blood with the artificial substitute. The anticipation was palpable. The transfusion worked. The rabbits survived and showed no significant side effects, a major breakthrough that validated the concept. But the concern persisted. The human body is infinitely more complex than a rabbit's. Could this synthetic blood replace the functions of coagulation, immunity, and nutrition that natural blood performs? Or was it merely a simple oxygen carrier? The answer would mark the difference between a medical advance and a true global revolution. Beyond compatibility, artificial blood offers a radical solution to a critical logistical problem. Donated blood requires a constant cold chain and expires in a few weeks. This new Japanese compound, however, can be stored at room temperature for over a year, even 2. Imagine the impact. In a natural disaster, at a remote base, or in an emergency vehicle, life-saving blood is instantly ready, without the need for refrigerators or typing tests. This is the true power of Japanese innovation: the democratization of access to emergency transfusions. The next step, human trials, was approaching, but with it, a final question. The Japanese team, backed by years of research, is now in the phase of human clinical trials, with the ambition of making this artificial blood globally available by 2030. The promise is clear: to eliminate deaths from blood shortages. But a last profound mystery remains unsolved by science. Although the hemoglobin vesicles transport oxygen, can they replicate the complex biological signals that natural red blood cells send to the rest of the body to regulate inflammation and tissue repair? If the body reacts even slightly, we might have created a lifeline that, in the long term, carries an unthinkable cost. The promise of universal blood is within our grasp, but the full price of this medical revolution is yet to be revealed. Are we about to usher in an era of limitless medicine, or have we opened a biological Pandora's box? Thank you for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell to join us on our next exploration into the future of science.